what were your feelings about President George W. Bush?
Oh, you know, here's the thing. You could go back and find sermons about me preaching extremely hard against George W. Bush. Because I believe George W. Bush was the worst president in the history of the United States until Barack Obama.
We agree on that. That's for sure.
Now, and I'll say that without apology.
Did you ever wish that for him to be dead, George W. Bush?
Well, you know, I also believe that George W. Bush is guilty of most of the same things as Barack Obama.
So he should be dead.
You know, and here's the thing: it's not that I'm threatening anybody's life, as a lot of the media has falsely reported. Okay, I've not threatened anyone. I would rather see Obama die of natural causes anyway, so that he's not some kind of a martyr. And I'm just preaching that justice should be served against someone who I believe is a murderer. The Bible teaches is a murderer. And so, you know, if that applies to George W. Bush as well, which I believe it does apply to George W. Bush, then if the shoe fits, wear it. I mean, Bush and Cheney, I think, should be tried as war criminals, you know, for torturing people, for murdering innocent people. That's what I believe.
Have you had a gay man come on to you?
Well, you know, I actually have. When I was a teenager, I remember there were actually gays in the Christian school, believe it or not. And they would try to come on to everybody. And, you know, they were in the closet, but it was real obvious what they were doing. Later on, they came out of the closet. And, you know, I've seen it in my personal life. I've seen it in the news. And you've got to admit that in the news, it's constantly little boys being molested. I mean, it's every day. In Phoenix, it's in the news.
Every day,
let alone nationwide.
The phileo and the cardia. And I can tell you what it really means. Doxa and huios and all that stuff. But let me tell you something. I'll fix that later. But let me tell you something. And I'll fix that later. The point is, when you come to this church, some strange things happen.